Hello again, guys. I am Derpy Derp, and welcome back to another Team Fortress 2 Lemon. This one is called Confidence. It is by Rainbow Dash 123 in DeviantArt. It's an Engineer X Reader Lemon. Uh, I'll try to leave a link in the description below for y'all to follow me, but let's just go on with the story. I hope it's a short one. You'd always known an engineer as a shy guy, the kind of person who'd appreciate a joke, but slink away with a small chuckle. A polite person when you heard from him. He would occasionally give you a small, yet sweet and admiring compliments, just be nice. Things like, you look very pretty, or you're doing a very good job. When he was on the field, you always noticed he would only kill for the protection of his teammates or himself because of peer pressure. Most of the time, he would slink harmless little insults to his dominations. It raised his confidence. But he had a passion for inventing all sorts of things. You would sometimes walk into his bunk and find many helpful blueprints, some scratched out and crumpled, but most with really good upgrades that could benefit the team. But this week was the slowest and least productive week for Engineer. More and more of his blueprints you discovered in the trash, and no one on the team was giving any more credit to him. So today you're gonna try and change all of that. You knocked on his door. "Yo, Engie, you alright?" "Come in, sweetheart," he answered faintly from inside. His little office space was not like normal. There were broken pencils on the ground and scrap metal by unfinished projects. A dispenser was overflowing with metal, and when you walked by it, the heal beam worked for only a second, and it automatically turned off after. Engineer sat on his wide yet trashy desk. His hands covered his eyes, and his helmet slunk over his forehead. You walked to his side. He was sniffling. "Engie, what's going on?" You didn't notice your arm trekking around his shoulder. You looked at his covered face, and his hands slumped onto the desk. They were wet. "I can't do anything right. Nobody cares." He was gently crying. He put his head down, and his helmet rolled off onto the desk and into the floor. "Engie," you set your attention to a blueprint that hadn't been messed with. You read it. It was for an upgrade vaccinator Medigun. He turns and looks at you for a moment. "That didn't work. It never will." "What do you mean it never will?" He nudged his head to the left. In the corner of the room was the Medigun, almost complete. "How come you didn't finish it?" You curiously asked. It wouldn't have worked." "How do you know if you never finished it, or let alone tried it? Medic has needed a new Medigun for a couple of days. His screwed up. I'm sure he would appreciate if you made one for him." "Appreciate?" He shook his head. "Nah, nobody appreciates my stuff anymore. They all fail. I give up." But you can't give up. You can't. We need you. Can't you think of a couple of inventions you've made that have worked?" He removed his gun from his right hand. "This." He flicked his hand. "It's my gunslinger. It is one of the few inventions I've made that has worked." You stared at his robotic hand and noticed it looked and worked normal with the glove on. "See, you don't fail at everything. That's pretty cool." You smiled at him and calmed down to give more sympathetic tone. Don't be too hard on yourself. You are amazing. Without your old enthusiastic spark, we would be nothing. Hell, I would be nothing." You blushed. How How could you have said that? Engineer wiped his eyes and stared at you. You cleared your throat nervously. His eyes were pretty, glimmering blue. He had a small blush as well. You continued. I used to love all your inventions, at least when you made them. I mean, I want you to be the engineer I enjoy. Crap, I messed up, you thought. Engie. He stood up, not quite reaching your height, but you could say that he was quite cute, especially now that he had a small smile on his face. Were you gonna say something? He brought his left hand up to caress your face. You held it against your cheek while smiling at him, smitten. You blushed really hard and leaned into his lips and pressed against yours. His hand slithered back to the back of your head, raking through your hair. He wrapped your arms around his neck, kissing him back. You caught a confused spy peeking in through the crack of the door, and while continuing with engineer, you dismissed him with a simple flick of the hand. Each day for the rest of the hugely productive week, the mercenaries bragged about their newly upgraded weapons and thanked engineer. Blueprints popped up everywhere, and the only things Engie threw away were pencils worn down to the eraser metal and sweaty handkerchiefs. Every time you saw him around, he would be smiling ear to ear, saluting or complimenting you. But no matter what, you would still love his inventions, his imagination, and you would lead him through his ups and downs, and also you would especially love him. All you had to do was raise his confidence. Well, that was a very romantic lemon. I'm surprised I didn't throw up during that. I'm not really into romantic stuff, but it's a lemon and I love lemons, so might as well deal with it. Well, I guess that's it for this video. Make sure you like, favorite, subscribe, share, do anything that helps the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.